So I happen to have ordered another capacitor, as you can see. It's the same microfarad range as the original one. The original one is a 43 to 53 microfarads. And this is a 43 to 53 microfarad. So you need to take precautions when dealing with capacitors because they can hold a charge. Sometimes the charge is quite high, so you need to be very careful with capacitors, even capacitors that may not be working like this one. You just don't know. In this case, this capacitor is probably not shorted, but it may be. So we need to be careful with it when unplugging it. So first we unplug each one of these terminals, and so I'll go ahead and plug it and plug in the new capacitor. You can see the result. So I've unplugged the wires that went to the capacitor. So the two blues went on the left-hand terminal, and the two reds went on the right-hand terminal. So this is not it is an electrolytic capacitor, but it's not a polarized electrolytic. So it probably doesn't matter which colors go on which side. Just make sure both reds go on one side and both blues go on the other. So I'm going to plug in the new one, leaving the old one in place for now, and so we'll see if it fixed it. So I plugged the wires onto the new capacitor. As you can see, both red wires are going to a single terminal, and both blue are going to the other terminal. I'm going to plug in the power, and we'll see what happens. So, plug the power in, and capacitor is still plugged in. So now I'm going to hit the remote and see what happens. So, everything's operating as it should be. The limit switches are going up right there, so it looks like that's the only problem. The capacitor I got from Amazon, you can just search for garage door opener motor start capacitor and specify the microfarad range to make sure it's the same microfarad as what's coming off. Just to make sure that's a 43 to 53 microfarad. And so is this. So I'm just going to unscrew the old capacitor. It's that one screw that's right there. I'm going to put the new one in, and then it should do it. Okay, so it's closed back up, and I'm going to do a final check to see how it works. These, by the way, are the limits switches. These here. One is the up, one is the down. It should be marked. So that you can adjust these so that the door stops higher or lower. And the middle one is basically like a clutch, so that if the door meets a lot of resistance, like the hood of your car or something, it'll reverse itself. So let me see, make sure if it works. It does work. Here comes the truck. It stops. So, if your garage door opener just buzzes without doing anything, the motor is not frozen in place, not seized up, if the gears seem to be okay, then it's probably the start capacitor.